What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, we are at the radio station today. I couldn't exactly remember where it was, but after a little sniffing around, I figured out that it was back down here. I don't usually come up here. I've only been up here maybe 3 times since I started playing SCUM. But I thought, we're kind of up in the snowy area. We might as well check it out. Now, one place I would really like to go in the near future would be down here to the hospital to get some cookbooks and stuff together. But that was a bit more of a trip than I wanted to deal with right now, so we're here. And I've changed up my loadout just a little bit. I'm not rocking the bow right now, because that's just been getting me into more trouble than it was worth. So right now we're running the katana, the M1, and still my HS9 pistol. So we're going to see how all of that works out for us. I do have a bit of extra ammo for the pistol just in case. We got a bit of extra ammo for the rifle. And I've got some extra ammo in the bike. So, anyway, I don't even remember what all's here. I actually haven't been here since, I think since 1.0 dropped. So I don't know what's different here, but anyway, we're gonna find out. Also, a little surprised that I'm not seeing puppets yet, but I guess I should count that as a blessing, huh? Given our recent issues with getting overwhelmed. Anywho, I hope that at some point I'm. You know what? We'll start taking some locks. Because a couple of you said during the latest live stream that it's in theory possible, anyway, for the NPCs, hey, there we go, to steal your vehicles. Or at least to potentially do stuff with them. I don't know if that's true. It was true for a while, but I don't know if it still is. But anyway. I was saying something, and then I interrupted myself, and now I don't remember what it was I was saying. Hey, there's a puppet. Okay. You stay over there. Oh, I remember what I was saying. I hope that they add something to this place to make it actually worth coming here besides just, this. What I would love to see is if we start getting quests or missions or whatever that you'd have to come up here and do something with the radio station itself to then open, maybe open up, communication with the rest of the island. Maybe you could do that before you could even start getting any kind of, communications from the traders or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what all we could do there. Get that back in your hand, genius. But it would just be nice. They've got all of these, unique POIs around here that really serve no purpose other than, hey, you can loot them. Like, I want there to be more to do than just loot. Ooh, a deagle. Hey, M6, haha, we will take that. We've got that M16 back at base. It's a little rough around the edges, but we got it. We can fix it up. Sure, why not? Those sell reasonably well anyway. I think, if memory serves. Maybe, maybe not. I don't remember. Either way, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea for us to have a spare. Ooh. Hey, that actually matches my gear. Would you look at that with your eyes? You know what? We'll stick with that for now. Well, hot diggity dang, there's another. Just in case we run into some friendos here. Stop putting the pistol away. I keep thinking that he puts the pistol away when I loot stuff. Well, we got plenty of friendos here. Don't go behind the bush, damn it. Well, we'll just try to be a little bit sneaky. Shall we? Okay, if you say so. I do say so, thank you. Damn it, how did that one miss? There we go. I'm not gonna bother searching them. Have any friends in here? Don't hear any armed friendos anyway. Hi. Really? There we go. Eight. Okay. We're still okay then. You know what? I will take that. I mean, it doesn't take up much space. I don't know how well those sell, but we'll take it anyway. Yeah, it's not in very good condition. Ooh, hey, there we go. Now we've got just a regular old hat that goes with our current outfit. I'm always going to take these military survival knives. I love those as an addition to the game. I really do. I know a lot of people were kind of like, why the hell did they add that? Nobody asked for that. Which is true, I suppose, but I personally still... Oh, it's that color scheme. Then no, I hate those. Right now, just put this helmet back on. It takes up too much space in the backpack. I really don't need to be carrying around two of them. I don't remember what all clothing we have back at base. Sure. We'll take some paper. I can work on crafting some shotgun ammo. Oh, speaking of crafting stuff, I noticed when I was back at base, our crafting table disappeared. Or, you know, our workbench, whatever. It disappeared. It's gone. Has anybody else noticed that? Nothing else around the base has changed at all. But the workbench despawned. Has anybody else encountered that? Because that's a little concerning. there never used to be anything up there, so I'm kind of guessing there's still not. But we'll check this stuff over here before we go dump stuff at the bike. I hear somebody. Ah, you're inside the building there. Perfect. I still hear somebody else, though. Well, there you are right there. Anybody else? No? Okay, then. You know what? We'll take potato seeds. I'm debating about moving the base. You know, I wanted to build a base up here in the snowy area. Just, ooh, hey, there's some decent money. Ish. Well, the gas masks are actually not great. One in that condition will bring like maybe $400, which is not bad. But given the amount of space it takes up, it's not great. Because the way that I look at stuff for selling is if it takes up, essentially one square here. I know technically like that's one square, but most things are, a essentially 2 by 2 block there. So we'll call that one square or one slot or whatever. Um, if it takes up one slot, it needs to sell for at least $100. If it doesn't sell for at least $100 for taking up, an individual slot, then it's not worth picking up. And so with a gas mask that takes up 4 slots, the fact that it only sells for 300 to 400, at least the last one I sold only sold for it was 384, I think it was. It wasn't a lot. I remember being disappointed with it. Anybody here? No? Okay, good. We got a bag of potatoes. Well, actually, can I put... No, I can't put the potato seeds back in the bag. Really? Really? I can't put... Huh. Well, I mean, we got plenty of potato seeds there, and those are in much better condition than these, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I'm debating about moving. Because I like our base, but building up here in the snow was more just kind of doing it to see what I thought of it. It's really not a practical location. I think we can all pretty well agree on that. Because we're way up here at the top. There's really nothing, in this area here that's really worth anything. You got the depot over here with, the bunker. And got another bunker there. But I mean, yeah, that's really all that there is up here in this area. There's not really a whole lot worth being up here for. Whereas if you were down, in more kind of centralized area, even over here where I kind of made the mountain vacation home, over here, would give you closer access to the city. You know, you'd be a little closer to, say, the D4 airfield. Um, you'd have the castle, you know, you'd have the B2 airfield down here. So, I don't know. And even, you know, like if we went over to the lake house over here, which was before 1.0, that was my absolute favorite spot. But with 1.0, they kind of nerfed it, which sucks. But anywho. Hi, friendo. Friendos. 2 bullets. Okay. That's enough for you. Perfect. Right. Put that back down there so I don't accidentally chuck it into the truck. Or the... We don't have a truck, we have a bike. Where am I? Okay, yeah, that's the direction I want to go. You know what? We got room. We can check this barracks building over here. Right. Okay. You shush. Come over here to the window, please. Thank you. But if we're going to move, where should we move to? You know, generally speaking, I end up kind of going central location on the map just because it kind of puts you, you know, equal distance from everything. So as long as you have a vehicle, you can kind of go wherever you want. I know one of you likes the little town here north of the airfield. There's a couple of houses that are pretty decent for taking over and making into a base. And then that gives you easy access to the airfield down here for constant looting. You're still not too far from, say, the C2 trader. And, I mean, you got a fuel station over here. Got like the factory here. You know, it's a pretty decent location, and it's pretty centralized on the map. So that's an option. We'd also look for, you know, one of the little cabins somewhere, you know, scattered around all over the place to set up shop. Or just if there's a good location somewhere that you think would just make for a good base location in general, we can do that. I will say, for those of you that are new to the channel, when choosing a base location, I typically want it to be either on a lake or next to a river so that you have fresh water. You know, I typically don't like the coastal areas just from the standpoint of they are saltwater. And so you still have to rely on a well. Hey, there, that's better. You have to rely on a well or on getting water from somewhere. You know, water collectors, whatever. Hello, friendo. But I like being on a river or a lake because it gives you unlimited fresh water. And, ooh. You know what? Let's just put that on. We'll repair it. And then I can just carry this. Why does that not go in the... Oh, you stupid piece of crap. But you got unlimited fresh water, and you've got access to fish. You know, so that gives you a good source of food. And obviously fresh water. I've been collecting lighters because I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, lighters were a quest item. I've done a few quests, but nothing too interesting or whatever. They've all just been the fetch quests of, here, turn in, you know, 3 rolls of duct tape or 10 bobby pins, you know, that kind of thing. So that's why I haven't really bothered bringing you guys along on those, because I haven't actually, you know, gone out and done quests. It's just, oh, hey, I have that stuff in my... Ooh, hi. You know, it's like, I have that stuff in my bike or in a chest back at home. I'll go grab that stuff. You know, it hasn't really been anything exciting or interesting. Once we do get into the more interesting quests, though, maybe we'll do some videos on just doing quests. Because I know a lot of people do like the quests. And we'll check you for some reason. I'm not sure why, but we're going to check you. Well, that was pointless. As expected. Ooh. Okay, we're going to head back to the bike and just dump this backpack. And then we can come back and hit the rest of this place. I'm expecting NPCs to come out of there. Just because that's what normally happens. They'll just pop out of a building that you already cleared. Now, I am curious to see what the inside of this place looks like since 1.0. Hey, wait a minute. I got stuff. Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's just go down there. Thank you. There we go. Right now, pretty much all these backpacks in here are empty. This one has like some survival stuff in it. So it's got my bow, fishing rod, fishing gear, stuff like that. Pretty much everything else in here, though, is empty. Aside from this red one here has quest items, or what I think were quest items. I remember seeing those as quest items. Bobby pins are always quest items. I said lighters. I'm thinking like matches and flint and steel were. I don't know about smartphone batteries. I think they were at one point, so I don't know. If they are, great. If they're not, oh well. Anywho, get back in the bike, please. Thank you. Actually, give me a different hat. There's not enough room for this helmet in there, huh? No. Yeah, that's okay then. Okay. Well, let's get back inside. Can I get in over here? Well, I can get into that area. That doesn't really do me much good. How we doing on this? I got half a mag. And we still got 3 full magazines. There, now we'll at least have 4 full magazines. Sorry, I like to keep my mags topped off, if at all possible. Why? Why did you not take out of the pile I was already using? Whatever. There we go. Oh, I didn't put the hose in there. You know, that's fine. The hose doesn't take up much space. And if we need the space, we can drop the hose. I don't care. Anywho. Oh, there's another barracks building. It is high. Oh. Oh. Damn it. That was just poor shooting on my part. And we're okay. It's really crappy condition wire, though. You know what? We'll take that, I guess. I mean, it's in decent condition. Worst case scenario, we could sell it. Watermelon seed, sure. As far as base location, sorry, I'm just gonna kind of tuck in back here real quick. There's a spot down, I think it's actually that right there. This is the fish factory. There's a little house down there that, we set up a base at on the multiplayer server at one point. That it's a compound. It's already got like a big perimeter wall around it that just needs a little patching here and there. But the house itself is still usable. The stove and oven apparently are still usable in that house. And it's one of like the 3-story houses, so it makes for a decent base. And where it is on the river, you're right at the point where the river transitions from freshwater to saltwater. So if you go upstream like 20 yards, you're into fresh water. So just another suggestion for a base location. Like I said, I don't really know exactly where to go right now. But up here is not very convenient for pretty much anything. Considering most of what I want to do is down, you know, not at the very tippy top of the map. So, oh, this is just a kitchen or a mess hall. Not even anything to loot in here. You shush. get into here? Anybody in here? Hello? No? Okay, good. Hmm. Thinking at one point, maybe at not this particular location, but that's better wire. I was thinking one of these buildings like this had security lockers in there or something, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Ooh. Oh, yes, please. Free lead plate, you betcha. I hear somebody. You shush. Decent box of bobby pins. You know what? Sure. I guess I should have gone ahead and put a lock on the bike. Duct tape is definitely a quest item. Hey, speaking of... how's my water? Where's my water? I don't have water on me, apparently. Awesome, so that's back in the truck. Or the bike. I keep saying truck. I'm used to using the Rager. That's why oh, okay. That's why I don't like shooting in third person. Your point of aim is not accurate. You see, like... Like, there, according to what looks like should be where I'm aiming, would be the corner of that box. But then you zoom in and you're actually aiming 6 inches to the left of the box. And so it doesn't work very well trying to shoot like that in third person. Yeah, they're in good condition. Those aren't particularly. Anywho, where are your guys' favorite places? Oh, good, another Hunter 85. Fantastic. I can't. No, I can. Okay. Huh. I really have no interest in actually using those. Although, honestly, just keep one around to use, like, for small game hunting. Maybe. Just bathroom, okay. Yeah, what are you guys' favorite base locations? Oh, hi. Anybody else up here? Any friendos? No? Okay, good. Ooh. It's the first time I found one of those. You know what? I might actually keep that. Sharpen that thing back up. Because those are pretty darn effective if memory serves. It sucks that you can't carry that, like, in the knife sheath. I wish they would add the ability to attach, like, you know, a hatchet or a machete or the sword or whatever to your belt instead of having to carry those in a shoulder slot. You know, I would really like that. shape. Also, sorry if this episode seems a little just kind of random and a lot of me just babbling and whatnot. I've not been feeling very well today, and we're kind of going through a lot of crap right now, a lot of stressful stuff here at home uh, as of late, and probably will be for the next month or so. And then after that, we're going to get into our busy season with work. So, uh, I'm not real sure what I'm doing, or, I don't really have a solid plan for what to do with SCUM right now. So if I just kind of seem a little all over the place or a little, damn it, unsure of, what I want to do, that's why. I've got a whole lot of other stuff on my mind right now. And again, I've not been feeling well. So it's just kind of been a whole lot of I guess lack of motivation to do stuff with SCUM, because there's just so much other stuff right now that is needing to take precedence over SCUM. I've climbed that thing before. There's never anything up there, I don't think. So we're not going to bother climbing that. We will check out the building over here, but first things first, I need to go back to the bike and dump these rifles. Close that. Thank you. Oh, I forgot I cannot run any faster than this. Fantastic. So, I do apologize if videos are still a bit sporadic and whatnot. Like I said, we've got a lot of other stuff going on. A lot of important stuff and a lot of high stress stuff. So, I'm trying to just kind of do the best that I can right now. Let's just dump this backpack in here. And we'll just grab it, and you're not quite empty, your clothing. That's all fine. Here, you can just go in here. Perfect. Anywho. I guess speaking of future stuff and whatnot, what other stuff, like, within SCUM would you guys like to see? Is there... Do you guys like to see more base building stuff? Do you want to... Are there certain locations you'd like me to visit? Is there anything in particular you'd like us to do? Because SCUM is one of those games where there's not really an objective. It's just kind of do whatever you feel like doing. Which honestly is why I end up starting over fairly frequently. Because it's like, once you've kind of established a base location and just, gotten yourself situated, and you've got all of the supplies that you need and everything like that. You start kind of running out of stuff to do aside from, doing like quests or just doing stuff just for the sake of doing stuff, you know. So, if there are things that you guys would like to see, let me know because I'm always looking for, new ideas to try or just different things to motivate me. And I guess on that note, too, if there's other games you'd like to see on the channel, let me know. I do occasionally play other games. The problem with playing other stuff is most other games don't really do well on the channel, you know? So I'm kind of thinking what we might do in terms of other games is we might start doing just like rather than try to do a series on other games, we might do 1 or 2 episodes and see how they go. And if people really like them and want to see more and they get decent views and that kind of thing, and I enjoy playing them, then we can look into doing a series. But thus far, given the history of the channel, SCUM is by far the most popular game. So, that's why I primarily do SCUM. I would love to do other games. There's several other games I would like to try, but it's hard to get motivated to play them on the channel when they don't do well, because, sure. I don't really have a whole lot of other, you know, time to just play games just for fun. Most of the time when I play games at all, it's, oh, that replaces my undershirt. Does it have any storage? No. Why does that not have inventory space, but this sleeveless shirt does? No idea. If that's the case, then get rid of that. I don't want it. Hmm. Oh, good. Those stack. Hey, there we go. There's plenty of stuff for improvised shotgun shells. Now, I don't know if I don't think, I don't remember if wine sells very well or not. I guess we'll find out. Anywho. Anybody up here? No? Okay. But see, I wish that there was a reason to come here. Because the loot is not particularly good. There's really nothing special about the loot here. There's a bit of military stuff. But all in all, is it good enough to actually, bother coming here? Not really. It's kind of a situation of if you're already in the area and you want to pop in, sure, why not? Sorry for the yawning. So you know what? Leave that open so I know which rooms I searched already. But this is not a place that you would ever seek out. Just because there's not any kind of good loot here. and there's nothing really even interesting to interact with. But, you've got all of this stuff here. It would be interesting if you could actually use some of this or interact with it in some way, shape, or form, or you do something here to where it establishes a radio link across the island or something to where um, you could communicate with, ooh, thank you, with, other survivors or whatever, you know, or even just, like I say, the traders. But as it is right now, there's really no reason to come here other than, hey, it's a spot to explore. But like there, we've explored all of it here, and woo, we came out with just kind of some random miscellaneous stuff, and those two rifles and a deagle. You know, nothing fantasterific. Certainly nothing worth making a special trip out here for. So, I don't know. I would like to see them do something with this location. Because they have locations like this. What the hell? Sorry, I thought I saw movement over there. I thought it might have been a bear. I think it's just that dumpster, though. Anywho. But they got, like, the irradiated city, and this place, and, like, the radar array, and just, there's just all these places, they're kind of neat to explore, but they don't really serve a purpose. You know, Something like the motocross track at least has garages where you can find tools and, vehicle repair kits and stuff like that. You know, most of the towns have police stations and whatnot where you can get weapons and things of that nature. The irradiated city serves literally no purpose at all. You get the depleted uranium for making crafted armor piercing ammo from the reactor building. The city itself is absolutely worthless. There's no reason at all to go there. There's nothing special there. There's no good loot there, and everything that you pull out is irradiated. You know, Same kind of thing for this location. There's really nothing here. There's not really a reason to come here. It's not even a particularly interesting location. Like at least the museum or the chateau or whatever the hell it's called, that we went to last time, that's got all the secret doors and passageways and stuff like that. You know, at least that's an interesting place. But something like this spot here, there's really no reason to ever come here unless you just stumble across it by accident. You know, So, I don't know. I would like to see the devs do more with some of these POIs. I already checked that, didn't I? Yeah, that's the laundry room. Or yeah, bathroom slash laundry room. Anywho, I think this location's pretty well tapped out. Unfortunately. Admittedly, I was hoping to find more. But that's okay. We did find some interesting stuff. We had a little fun with the puppets and whatnot. And we got to just talk for a bit. That's kind of what this channel is more often than not, is talking, isn't it? The gameplay is secondary. The rambling comes first. Actually, several of you have said the rambling is why you guys watch the channel. That if I didn't do the rambling and just played games, you probably wouldn't watch. So, I appreciate that because the rambling is kind of what I do best. Um, Maybe at some point we'll make a podcast or something like that where it's just focused on rambling. And I don't know. We'll see. Um, but anywho, I think that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video, and if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know that you like what I do and you'd like to see more. And with that being said, I'm going to plug the links in the description as per usual. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So if you'd like to support either of those charities, please go check out Please go check out those links. And then we have my Discord server, as well as the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. That is the SCUM server that I do all of my live streams on. It is a PvE server. We have player-to-player damage turned off, and player locks cannot be picked. So you don't have to worry about getting shot or robbed or anything like that by anybody. Besides that, we had the settings are basically the same as what I've got here for my single player. We got puppet numbers maxed out, um, animal numbers boosted, NPCs boosted, loot boosted a little bit. No sentries, no drop ships. So it's a pretty chill server. It's not an easy server by any stretch of the imagination because of the boosted puppet numbers and whatnot, and boosted NPC numbers and all of that. But it's a pretty chill server. You know, there's a lot of good people on there. So if you're just looking for a nice chill PvE server to hang out on, meet some good people, have a good time, come check us out. If you're new to SCUM, it's a great server because we got a lot of people that like to help new people. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in trying, check out that Discord link, read the server rules page, and then if it all sounds good to you, get in touch with either myself, Necros, or Cornbread. We are the admins for the server, and we can get you set up with the password. And then we have my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including ambient rain videos, comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she posts informational content on various haunted locations, as well as some evidence that we have captured because we are amateur paranormal investigators. And then we do family live streams over there where we play games like Phasmophobia. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.